Hey guys, it's the boss, and today I'm gonna be watching the top 22 non-gaming creepypastas, the classic version. Now you might be thinking, am I viewing this from YouTube? No, because there's no YouTube player here. Instead, I'm viewing it from some sort of media player, and I already forgot what the media player is called, but who cares? But the only thing I'm gonna talk about here before I start this video is that this is the uncensored version, alright? And I asked Tats if I messed it up already. If if she has the uncensored version on her computer, which she does, and I asked her if she could like send me that video for me, like a copy of it, and then she said that if she was supposed to do that, then I need to be friends with her on Skype or on Discord, or like be on her Discord server, which is still operational. Let me tell you that. And then I found her Discord, and then she wanted to know what she wanted to know what video it was, and I was like said the whole title of the video, and I put uncensored. Alright, I think I put the larger U and N before censored, and then she put it on drop. I think, is it Dropbox? I think it's called Dropbox, and I downloaded it, and yeah, now I'm here, yay! So I'm gonna be watching the classic, and there's obviously some differences between the classic and the 2014 version, or the newer 2014 version, but yeah, the classic version has some popularity, which made a rise for her channel up to fame and all that, with her top lists and all that, and the majority of them are just games. So yeah, so yeah, as always, check out the channel in the description below, and yeah, let's do this. And it's gonna start now. So yeah, this one's over 34 minutes long. So yeah, when the video about to watch contains yeah.
This video contains disturbing content, violent content, jump scares, and sudden loud noises. Viewer discretion advised.
Dear God, fucking Slender Man.
Creepypastas are essentially internet horror stories passed around on forums and other sites to disturb and frighten readers and viewers.
Yep.
Creepypastas
they were relevant back in the day.
Supplemented with pictures, audio, or video footage related to the story, typically with gory, distorted, or otherwise shocking content.
We covered a few in our top 20 creepy urban game legends, and so those stories won't be covered again.
Yep.
These, however, are the top
there's
22
a small duck there in the background.
non-gaming creepypastas.
And the reason why I'm watching the uncensored is because there's obviously some that have been censored due to copyright, trademark, and all that. Especially for Dead Bart and Suicide Mouse and Abandoned by Disney and some other creepypastas. So thankfully I'm watching the uncensored version now, so you can enjoy the view and pleasure with me. So let's do this.
Cleverbot is an interesting website wherein users can talk to a computer program that learns from talking with people. If you look at some of the Turing test results for it, Cleverbot has achieved a 59% human rating. Clearly, it's getting smarter as we talk to it. But over the time it's been out, people have been getting some pretty creepy and in some cases downright disturbing conversations with it. For instance, several people have encountered the entity of Ben, and has given some pretty compelling evidence to say that he was murdered. Also, sometimes the site will say such creepy things like,
you need to know.
I know where you live. I watch you at night. And to the point of even, I'm going to murder you. Stay tuned at the end of this video for some creepy conversations with Tats and Cleverbot.
Yeah, because in the original version, the extra notes are just shown in text form, without any video and audio and all that. So, yeah, in the classic version they do.
Adventure, a man and a
there's
woman
also differences between
a
classic and
cave,
the newer version, so,
which was labeled God's Mouth. Despite
God's
the warnings
mouth.
around the entrance, they
God's
explored
mouth
the lone cave. The man soon feels a warm wall before letting go of the woman's hand and allowing her to
just so you know,
further into
this
the
whole thing is
cave.
by Tats, so
He started to call for her, and look around.
The whole
But
footage
before he
thing that
knew
she's
it,
made.
he was alone, and he was trapped, with nothing but 4 walls surrounding him. After a few hours, he began to accept his oncoming mortality.
Oh, let me just...
He sat and felt the wall touch his back and began to cry. As his torch lost its last ounce of light, it shone on a painted
No, completely
as
red.
God's mouth devoured its last prey.
Man. That piece of shit's a predator. I forgot about it a little bit because I watched it like a couple of weeks ago, so yeah.
Marina
Or a month. I mean.
Mordegard Gleskov. There was a video on YouTube named Marina Mordegard
Oh my
Gleskov.
god, I remember the old YouTube dashboard
probably
thing.
find nothing.
Jesus
The
Christ.
few times you
Why does Rap Brad?
you'll just see
When it plays
20
SCP
second
Containment
video of
Breach.
a man staring at you, expressionless.
Now
and
plays
grinning for
Injustice
the
2,
last 2
so...
seconds.
Mm.
This is actually only part of the video. The full video lasts 2 minutes and was removed by YouTube after 153 people who viewed the video either slashed marks on their arms, gouged out their eyes, or committed suicide in various ways.
Yeah.
The cryptic encryption they carved has not yet been deciphered. YouTube periodically put up the first 20 seconds of the video to quell suspicions, so that people
It's an
would go
interesting
looking for the real thing
edit there
to be
for
uploaded.
the person
The
uploading.
video itself was only viewed by one
Interesting
YouTube
dude.
staff member, who started screaming after about 45 seconds.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie, the lost episode.
Rumor has it that episode 34 of the Cartoon Network
Episode,
series
yeah.
Ed and Eddie was released 1 week early at 5 a.m. EST.
Okay.
Many people reported that this episode was very disturbing, and unlike the usual episodes,
I don't think this was on
the
the newer
quality of
version.
it was mediocre
Was it?
compared to the show's
I
regular
remember.
standards.
I don't think it was.
It was even
Let's see.
reported that a line
No,
was
what the
running
fuck
up
is
and down
that?
the screen,
What is that?
similar to a degrading VHS tape.
What?
It began with Eddie and Ed walking down the street.
Man,
without
Eddie is
Double
pissed.
D. Eddie looked angry and with red around his irises, and Ed had tears in his eyes, as if something sad had just happened. After that,
Okay.
it changes to a claymation sequence
Oh, hey,
of
Double D.
sleeping in Eddie's
I love
bed.
it just calling Double D.
This scene was
It
seen
can be
from a
reminded
bird's
us of
eye
something
view.
else entirely.
The scene changes once again,
What was that?
this time to Jimmy and Sarah at the dentist. Once that
Okay.
ended, it cut to commercials.
Micropets, what?
When the show came back, it showed a hairy Rolf
Holy
fisting
shit.
a cow on a loop.
Whoa,
The scene
what?
changes once more,
What?
this
It's
time to
dollars.
Naz, sitting on her couch reading a magazine. Johnny then comes up from under Naz's couch and crawls out on all
Man,
fours
Johnny has no eye
in a way
eyes.
you would usually
Well,
see in a
yeah,
cartoon.
he has no eye pupils.
The odd thing about him was that his eyes appeared to be missing. And all of a sudden, Johnny started swallowing Naz's head.
Yo, where's your friend, Johnny? You know,
and
the
it changed to
with
the
the plank
final
with smile
scene.
face on? Where's he?
Double D laying on Eddie's floor for the remainder of the episode.
Scary, scary stuff. That. What was that?
The Grifter.
The Grifter is an alleged video that was first mentioned
Okay.
somewhere on X image board. Watching it is said to be a soul-rendering experience, far more horrible than anything one could imagine. These images are said to contain some of the screenshots shown in the video. The few that have watched it are said to have been killed in their own homes, with only one thing in common: a strange doll hidden somewhere in the house.
Oh.
There's a message by the
Oh.
end of the video in a constructed internal auxiliary language, Esperanto, and says, "This child is still alive and lives in a local shelter whose name was not given. He never spoke, and still is catatony.
What does catatony mean? Well, I'd just like to point out that this video was the first appearance of any Among Us's
during this episode
first
of The Simpsons,
voice over
the
thing.
family's on a plane ride, and Bart, as you
can
guess,
Bart, okay,
is fooling around. But suddenly, he stumbles back and breaks one of the plane windows before being quickly sucked out.
Oh shit!
After
Man,
a cutscene, the family is shown crowded around Bart's mangled, bleeding, and horrifically mortified body, laying perfectly still on the ground. In the following act, the family is sitting at the dining room table, crying. After this, the family is shown terribly thin at the graveyard, visiting Bart's grave. Soon after, you see lots of tombstones.
Oh dear.
All of them with names and dates of all the guest stars shown in the entire Simpsons series, some of which had not even been on yet, including Michael Jackson, with the correct date of his actual death.
Oh, the fuck.
Onto silent credits.
What the fuck just happened? My brain got melted.
666.
Oh boy, the devil is in
This video shows what happens when you search for the username 666 on YouTube and then refresh the page a few times. This pasta has actually created a few rumors, one of which is that the original 666 accounts contained a virus that changed all text into sixes.
That is a very old Windows.
You search for 666 and refresh the page a couple of times. The background turns hellish. The videos turn creepy, and it is just horrible. If you click on one of the videos, you won't be able to close, back up, pause, or shut down your computer until the video ends. It works, but sometimes contains creepy viruses. If you're willing to take the risk of letting it into your system, that's fine. But it messes up computers bad. Just be careful, because sometimes it affects other pages too.
Yep, you're screwed. See ya. Let me tell you, this is a very old YouTube player as well. I think the person who saw that died.
Gateway to the Mind. In 1983, a team of scientists theorized that a human without any of his five senses would be able to perceive the presence of God.
I think that's Andy Among Us right there.
They thought the five senses clouded
it was like the first video to introduce him to the whole Top crew.
The test was conducted
on an
elderly man who had nothing left to live for. They cut off all sensory nerve connections to his brain. 2 days later, the man claimed that he could hear his dead wife speaking to him. The scientists found this interesting, but weren't convinced, until he began to name dead relatives of the scientist.
I think that's okay.
Personal information. After a full week of having many dead voices in his head, the man became distressed and on the verge of insanity. He began hurting himself, asking for sedatives, so he could fall asleep to stop the voices. Sleeping worked for 3 days, until he began having severe night terrors and hearing the deceased in his dreams.
Looks like one of the Amnesia enemies.
The man could no longer perform regular sentences and was classified as insane. He was tied to a table to prevent suicide and began crying. This kept up for 2 weeks. During one study session, the man turned his head and focused one eye on a scientist for the first time in the study. Even though he was believed to be blind, he said, "I have spoken with God, and he has abandoned us." Then his vitals stopped, and he dropped dead.
Yep. I think the artsy form video where
SCP Foundation.
he just formed his face around.
The SCP Foundation
is a different type
is
of
an
one,
organization with a murky past. The Foundation has numerous doctors, researchers, and agents aiming to understand and catalog anomalous objects.
Oh my
D-class
god.
personnel recruited from death row inmates
What's
are
that?
used for human testing in almost every aspect. The Foundation collects
Holy
and
shit.
protects the SCPs from getting into the hands of others. SCP-173 was the first SCP object written and served as the inspiration for the project. It's described to be a statue-like entity that cannot move while in direct eyesight, but will kill its victim by breaking the neck, if not constantly observed.
And keeps blinking off.
Other SCPs include SCP-682, which is a sentient, indestructible, highly adaptive reptilian creature, accompanied by a picture dating back to a news article in 2006, is one of the most popular SCPs on the wiki.
Wait, is that real or was it just something else? I'm not a stat of this one, but
The
I don't
Holders
know.
is a series of creepypastas.
Let me know what you think.
For the possible ways of gathering different sets
I think it's a
of
mix,
magic items
so I
up
don't
to
know.
538 that would supposedly curse its former owner forever and bring a dark, unspeakable fate to the world once put together. Nobody really knows if these objects are real, or if there are indeed a set number of objects that exist in our world that yearn for a reunion with their kin. Speculation runs rampant. Part of what makes the Holder stories so enticing is the possibility any person can go into a special institution, ask to visit a Holder, and be forced to undergo a test of power to earn an object. The people who have to take part in the recovering adventure are all called the Seekers. These Seekers have set out for three main reasons: to seek for power, to seek for reunion, or to seek for separation. Their goals are known to mutate and change them into villains and monsters, but we can only hope that one with a just heart prevails over these foes.
Those damn Seekers. They must be stopped. No matter the cost. Number 12.
SuicideMouse.avi.
Yup.
Suicide Mouse is a Lost Episode creepypasta and is widely seen as the fourth father of the entire Lost Episode genre. This story is based off of an old, unseen Mickey Mouse episode. The video starts off with a saddened Mickey Mouse walking down a never-ending street, while random piano keys are heard playing in the background. After some minutes of him walking, however, the video starts to become corrupted, with the keyboard replaced with static. The video blacks out for a whole 4 minutes,
Forgot about the static.
sound becoming more and more audible. The sound of a horrific female scream starts playing, along with the famous mouse smirking.
Yep.
The building and sidewalks start warping and distorting in different directions, with the distorted screaming lasting a full 8 minutes before abruptly cutting off.
That scream is still
scene
horrifying.
is shown with a strange face, and a man is heard saying, "Real suffering is not known," followed by a gunshot. Mickey Mouse's face is shown to supposedly signify the end of the video, with what sounds like a broken music box playing in the background. Legend has it that the first person to have watched the full video committed suicide shortly afterwards for unknown reasons.
There are games about this, so...
The Rake.
Yeah.
The Rake is a creepypasta story featuring a humanoid creature that stalks and attacks people in a manner similar to the Slender Man.
Yeah. Just
the
as I said.
Rake is a weird creature who is said to stalk people in ordinary
It looks
areas
fucking
like
terrifying,
gardens
so
and
let me
trees.
tell you that.
But he will never attack.
Yep,
Unless
I've seen an image before.
But will stare and follow you around. Its facial features are somewhat similar to the infamous Slender Man, with reported 2 large eyes and a small mouth which expands to 5 times its size when provoked and attacking, revealing an army of small but sharp, bludgeoning teeth that has no escape, with no chance of ever
I don't know if that
getting
picture is
out
real or
alive.
fake, or I don't know. Oh, nothing about the family incident of Rick getting someone's remote? Oh, nothing.
There is this blog post that talks about a very old kids show, which was about pirates and had some controversy because of the main villain being a skin-taking skeleton, and the horrific screaming episode, which
maybe
had
it's
every
that guy,
character except the laughing-stock ship screaming at the camera while Jen is crying, possibly having been through hours of it. As recollections of the show
oh my god, stop screaming, Jesus.
Clear that beneath the show's cutesy and disarmingly low-budget appearance is something dark.
If that actually existed, then
and by the end, it's implied that
maybe
the
it's
show's
this one
much
as a
more
cover for a DVD.
Than a half-remembered childhood memory.
Number 9. Oh, Discord.
Hello there, everybody. This is your favorite creature of chaos, Discord, here to tell you about this particular creepypasta because NDL Mongoose is too scared to tell you himself.
yeah.
Although I admit it's creepy enough to even give my goat legs a shiver. It is known
He's a
as
goat
My
demon.
Little Pony Cupcakes.
Yup.
It is quite
I remember
possibly
him telling
the
it to
most
him.
notorious My Little Pony fanfic ever written.
Yep.
It depicts the character
That song is from
Pinkie Pie
Condemned Criminal
as a serial
Origins.
killer who drugs her friend Rainbow Dash, dragging her to a hidden cellar and proceeding to slowly
I think they're called Pink and Mina.
mutilate her to death.
And her hair is down like an
Pinkie
emo
Pie
or whatever.
appears, wearing a dress made of pony skins, wings, horns, and cutie marks, and begins to brutally murder Rainbow Dash sadistically in order to get
think
that
I said
special
they're-
ingredient for cupcakes.
Oh, there are like 2 versions
The
of this.
fanfic has caused a lot of fear in the brony community, and since has went viral across the internet, creating lots of blog posts and alternate
It
endings.
still looks fucking terrifying though, in the art
The
animated
authorship
form.
has been attributed to Sergeant Sprinkles.
Oh, you're here! Just in time! I just finished a fresh batch of cupcakes!
Man, this one's changed.
It looks like I'm missing
There's a lot
some.
of dead ponies there.
You came just at the right time!
And there's no operating table. I remember there's not being an operating table in the classic.
Happy Appy. Happy Appy was originally
But you, lady, you need to
a
tone down your
television show,
voice.
with its main star being
Damn.
a couple named Happy Appy, who taught
Yep.
children how to act
There's
and
a sequel to
handle
the
certain
Happy Appy.
injuries and criterias.
I
The
don't
first
know
couple of
why.
episodes seemed normal and went well until after the first 2. Things
Yep.
started to get worse.
All
and
quite a one
worse.
fucking 9/11
Nickelodeon
art
removed
drawing
the
there
show
in that
after only
fucking
8
show.
episodes, and
Boom.
removed all traces and files. Happy Appy helped children when they
I
got
think
hurt.
it's still there
It
on
was
the
a clay
wiki.
apple held up by a rusty bent stick. But as the show went on, it got weirder and weirder. He developed a death stare and an evil smile.
Yup.
And by the 8th episode, he
That's
wasn't
messed
clay
up.
anymore. The show progressed, getting worse, revealing scenes of tragedies and a lot more, before it
Damn.
was suddenly taken off the air. SmileDog.jpg.
Oh, smell those.
Smile Dog's story consists of an amateur writer who visits the house of an old lady. Supposedly, she had a story for him which he could use. Rather than speak, however, the lady locked herself up in her room, crying and ranting about nightmares and visions. She then appeared to have killed herself a week later.
Yep.
All these
I've read the
centered around
story,
a
and
floppy
my
disk she was
God,
given that contained the image.
it was well written.
Smile.jpg. Viewing this image incites insanity in the minds of those who had seen it. These reports continue to happen while the victim is asleep, resulting in very vivid and disturbing nightmares. If you receive an email named Smile, it's important you pass the
I'll
image
find your
on to
email
someone
address in the
else.
mailing list.
Deleting or not viewing the mail will still result in the same
Please accept this.
hallucinations. If the mail is not sent after 3 days, the picture will deform and show a much more demonic smile dog, thus resulting in even worse nightmares. Attaching the file, that is, spreading the word, is the only way to save yourself from the smile dog that appears in your dreams. Some say that the original legend began with an image of the devil.
Yep. Can you stop moving?
Abandoned by Disney.
Good.
Abandoned by Disney is about a man investigating a shut-down Disney attraction
I remember not,
called
they're not showing this
Mowgli's
whole thing.
Palace, located in the Bahamas.
Yep.
What he finds traumatizes him. When he arrives at Mowgli's Palace, everything appears to be normal. On the outside, it looks like any other old abandoned manor, rotting and overgrown with vegetation. Upon entering the palace, things got suspenseful. The hooks in the meat freezer were swaying
just hear a mouse
back
click?
and forth. The water was still running in the bathrooms. And in one resort room, the man assumed he heard a quiet conversation between two people, which then ended in crying.
Yeah,
Then
there's mouse
things took a
clicks.
turn for the worse when the man noticed a mascot-only room. The odd thing about this room was, unlike all the other rooms in the palace, this one still had its lock on. Curious, the man
A lot of
unlatched
mouse
the lock
clicks in this one.
and entered.
That's a
One
different
door
animation this
was
time.
labeled Character Prep 1,
Yep.
and inside were multiple Disney character costumes. One of these was a photonegative Mickey Mouse costume
This time in a suit.
laying in the middle of the floor. When the man was about to leave the room, the unthinkable happened. The
Dun,
Mickey
dun, dun.
Mouse costume
Dun, dun,
stood
dun.
up and stared directly
Yep,
at him.
definitely a different form.
It spoke to him. "Hey, want to see my head come off?"
Will see my head come off?
The demonic costume then pulled its head off, and blood leaked from it. Yellow, chunky blood. The man turned to run and saw 3 words: abandoned by God.
Abandoned by
After
God.
that, he fled the palace and never returned.
There's a video game based by this known as Finance at Treasure Island, which
Slender Man.
I don't know
The
where it
Slender
is now.
Man
So
myth started up on the Something Awful forums with a rather creepy black and white picture. It showed a playground at some institution. with
Looks
the
realistic in
ever-famous
this
Slender
picture.
Man standing in the background. This myth's popularity continued to grow. The Slender Man possesses the abilities of teleportation, incredible strength, and wondrous stealth. He also seems to possess a unique interest in children.
that's the
When
children.
the Slender Man is
Oh.
near, static is said to be heard. If you look at his blank, soulless face,
Whoa! What the
teleport
fuck?
to you,
He
and
just
take
walks.
you to purgatory. Here he will stalk you for all eternity, or simply kill you off. Some forms of this myth even state that the Slender Man will skin and eat his victims. Slender Man is a mythical creature. It is often depicted as a tall, thin figure wearing a black suit and a blank face. According to the legend, he can stretch or shorten his arms at will and has tentacle-like appendages protruding from
You
his
better
back.
hide.
Depending on the interpretations of this myth, the creature can cause memory loss, insomnia, paranoia, coughing fits, and video distortions.
See you later, boy. Number 4, we're almost done. Damn.
Zolgo.
Oh god, not
is an
Zolgo.
urban legend.
Oh, this one's
entity
glasses.
believed to cause insanity, death, and destruction of the world. Similar to the creature
He
Cthulhu
comes.
created by H.P. Lovecraft. Zolgo is often associated with scrambled text on web pages and photos of people whose eyes and mouths have been covered in black. Zolgo
What
often
design was it with
operates
H.P.
into simple,
Lovecraft?
childish
Hmm?
cartoons or comic strips, which corrupts them and turns them into hellish-like entities on
Yep.
with nothing but the black eyes and mouth.
I don't know what that thing is right there. It's just a Zolgified demon, obviously.
It is known as It Waits Behind the Wall with 7 hands, only with a dead star and a lone candle.
Death with a Death Star, and hey, I sort of remember that image. I don't know. I think I did, but fucking hell, stop shaking.
Russian sleep experiment.
Russian researchers in the 1940s conducted a test on 5 people. This test was to keep these 5 subjects awake for 15 days using an experimental gas. They put the 5 in a room with enough materials to live for the next few weeks. During the first few days, the men were showing normal vitals. But after the 5th day, they began to get paranoid. They ceased talking to each other and began to whisper quietly into the microphones. And it just went downhill from there. The men went totally insane.
Whoa.
One of them even died in the chamber. The other men were in terrible condition. The researchers took the men out after 15 days and conducted different tests on them. The researchers eventually agreed on putting them back into the chamber with 3 other researchers to study further effects of the gas. In a swift motion, one of the researchers grabbed a gun off the commanding officer and shot him, along with one of the now 2 surviving subjects.
Yep.
He aimed his gun at the last surviving subject and demanded to know what he was. The test subject responded, "Have you forgotten so easily?
No.
We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all.
He sounds like a mechanical
begging to be free
robot.
at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralyze when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." He is then shot by the researcher, and the last words the subject says are so nearly free.
I remember that. So nearly free. Free for what? Free for man? Goddamn.
Jeff the killer.
Oh, here we go.
Jeff was a little boy.
Here we go. This is where the overrated thing comes from.
His mother invited him to a birthday party. When him and his brother Louis were waiting at the bus stop, 3 teenagers attacked them. Trying to stick up for himself, he retaliated and got satisfaction from doing
I'm still questioning about the breathing
Jeff
though.
and Louis flee from the scene.
I don't feel
And it
safe.
so happens their parents find out about it. Jeff and Louis refuse to tell them about the teenagers attacking them first. So Louis takes the blame and gets sent to juvie.
Yep, the juvenile
Jeff
attention.
later attends the party, and the teenagers show up. One of them sets Jeff on fire, and he later wakes up in the hospital. Once the bandages are taken off, the family
Didn't another teen get on fire as well?
The teenagers later confessed it was them who attacked first, and not Louis.
I don't remember, but I think it
he's
was.
taken out of juvie. Jeff's mother hears crying in a bathroom, and then she enters the room. Jeff's
Oh god,
appearance is
total
morbid.
blood.
He is burned and cut off his eyelids so he could never sleep, and carved his mouth so he could always smile. The mother runs from the room.
It's basically the creepypasta version of the Joker. Well,
Jeff
not really
sees this
Joker, but if
and
you
violently kills her
in it, like in a
and the
sense.
dad. Jeff was seen later running away from the house, never to be seen again.
Jesus Christ, the
Legend
mic
has
is
it
too
that
too
Jeff is
close.
still out there. The last thing a person hears before he kills them is shh. Go to sleep.
Yup. And what was number 1 then?
And finally, the number 1 creepypasta
is what?
Squidward's
Oh
Suicide.
god.
An ex-Nickelodeon
It is what I think. God,
tells of
think
the
it
time
was.
he spectated a very different episode of SpongeBob
Holy shit.
titled Squidward's Suicide back in 2005. The producers of SpongeBob sometimes put little Easter eggs into the episodes as a joke, but this was no Easter egg. As they sat and watched the first run of the original episode, Fear of the Crowd, in the episode, Squidward is practicing for a concert that night, and when he finishes his piece in front of the crowd, things start taking a turn for the worst.
Hyper-realistic guys
Crowd,
everywhere.
along with SpongeBob, all have hyper-realistic eyes, and we're booing Squidward. who genuinely looked afraid, sad, and distraught.
Stop shaking.
Next scene shown was Squidward sobbing on his bed, with absolute silence, with a faint laughter in the background.
Yep.
Before suddenly cutting to a single frame.
Oh
of
my
a dead,
god.
distorted child mangled.
Holy shit. This was made by Tats herself.
Also mangled.
What the fuck?
During the end of the scene, a voice tells
Oh
Squidward
my
to
god,
do
it
it.
just changes. What the fuck? Do
As
it.
he shoots himself in the mouth with a shotgun. The episode ends.
Ends, definitely. And that's not shotgun hell, man. It was a pistol. Extra. Sorry. Extras and notes. Here we go.
While Tats tested out Cleverbot, we did come across some really disturbing things about it. Firstly,
Yep.
it knew about our Urban Game Legends video, even going so far as to identify it as a movie. Yet, we did not even clarify that it was any of the sort. Secondly, it claimed to be God.
Okay. Tops aren't creepy. Oh really? How do you know then?
The screenshots and video
It's
that
from a
were
movie.
provided
Yeah, I
from the
remember
grifter
this. Yep.
is actually footage taken from the 2000 Czech film Little Otik,
Little Otik, yep.
a comedy
That's
about
what the
a
movie's called.
childless couple who pretends that
I've
a
seen some
root
scenes of it
taken
though.
from their backyard
Hmm.
is a real
Interesting.
child.
Yeah.
A creepy thing happened, guys. When viewing the Guana
Yeah, this
Cay
was, like,
in
blurry.
the Bahamas
Yeah.
on Google Earth, most, if not all, of the island
I
is
don't think that
pixelated,
note was in the censor
not
version.
allowing anyone to view the location at all. You can't even
Yep.
enter Street View, and no
Yep.
locations seem to exist. So what happened here clearly makes the mystery of the abandoned by Disney creepypasta all the more believable.
Maybe, I don't know. And yep, that's it. That's for the Yep. Yeah. If only I reacted to this one way earlier when it was up. If only I'd done that. It was before I started the YouTube and VLC Media Play, that's what it's called. So yeah, that's been it, and this will be the last one for a while till the end of June, because the whole June is gonna be Steph play GTA 4, and then the whole summer is gonna be GTA 4 marathon where it plays GTA 4, GTA 4 Lost in the Damned, and then GTA 4 The Battle of Gay Tony. Alright. Sorry, I had some chicken, so that's why I burped. But yeah, shout out to Tats, and obviously her channel's in the description below. So yeah, every shout out you do, the person's channel is always gonna be in the description. Alright. But yeah, that's been it, and I will do top 24, 22 SCPs too. I will do that, and then some top blank questions for SCP blank, because we know what number it is. It either starts with 0 or something with 100 or whatever. So yeah, but that's been it, and stay tuned to a different type of video, like either gameplay or something else. I don't know. Stay tuned for that. But anyways, yeah, if you like what I saw, please give it a like, which means a lot, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't want to miss any of my videos. And I also want to thank Taz for sending me the uncensored version, and it was a wonderful moment, and yeah, so so stay safe and stay strong, and as always, take care guys, and peace.